Hi everyone, welcome to another beautiful day. My name of course is Dr. Julie Two Moon and it is my pleasure to be here with all of you. I was on vacation for the last couple weeks in a roundabout way, and so I wasn't here in the group with all of you and I missed you. So I wanted to come here today because I've been having a lot of conversations with women around one central idea, which is my plan to solve my exhaustion and to deal with my lack of sleep and my hormonal imbalance and my foggy brain and my just not feeling my best is to try to do more. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, how many of you have thought, maybe if I just join that CrossFit boot camp, they say I'll have all the energy in the world, I'll feel amazing, it'll be the best thing I ever did, and you think, I'm so tired, but maybe if I can just push myself just enough to get into that boot camp, to be there, to do the really intense workout, that's going to be the thing. I know I talked to enough women that have told me, yeah, that was my hope. I do that really intense workout and I get to be like this super badass woman. And the fact is that they find out that they are just as tired, if not more. Or how many of you have thought, if I just take on like a really, really, really rigorous diet, that maybe my problem really is that I just haven't taken enough foods out of my diet. So I'm gonna get even more badass about my diet. I'm going to cut out everything, especially sugar, and that's going to be the thing that kicks it into high gear. I'm going to go super badass keto. I'm going to be really, really, really on point with this. I know. I talk to women all the time who tell me that this is their path, and I get it, because the thing is that the more that we feel exhausted, the more we feel kind of like we're losing our power. We're losing our mojo. And so we think, if I just get more intense, then I will get over that hump. I will actually rise to the occasion and it'll all turn around. Now, the problem is that I will tell you, the world at large doesn't believe, nor do they understand the reason why women get exhausted. And I've seen it time and time again. As a former CrossFitter, I can say that those coaches were just like, you just need to lift harder, you just need to work harder, that's the key. And they were all men who had no understanding whatsoever of a woman's body, women's physiology, or hormonal issues in women. And the reason why they believe that is because that's their motto on life. And the truth is that they're all adrenaline junkies and are quite honestly living on adrenaline. Does it make sense that if your body is sending out the signal that it's tired and can't keep up with your life, that you would push harder to try to make a difference? That you would make it do more? That you would be more restrictive? That give it less of what it needs in order to repair? Because that's what a lot of those plans are. Intense exercise is another stress response. Now, there are times, because I know a lot of the devotees of high intensity programs will say, but that's a good stress. But here's the truth. In the context of a super relaxed, at peace lifestyle, yes, that's a good stress. But my guess is that very few of you are living that, because the modern world has not set us up for that. And in fact, many of you have been living in a stressed state for 20 to 30 years. And you've adapted to it so well, you don't consider it to be stressful anymore. But your physiology says something different. And I can prove it. I run tests with the women in my program all the time. We're able to clearly identify that they've been living in a stress state for 20 to 30 years. And there's no denying it. That's what their physiology tells us. So the reality is, you guys, that pushing harder means that what you're going to do is this. You're going to go do that intense workout. It's going to push the adrenaline and cortisol production so that you can do the intensity, the heavy lifting at speed, the running, the intense cardio. You're going to do all of that. And what your body does is it has to make stress hormones to respond. But you've already been asking your stress hormones to be the primary mode of how you've kept up with your life. So you're just asking for an amplification of something that's already been overextended. And the result is that your body's going to say, oh my gosh, okay, the stress level just went up. So what we need to do is we need to dial in even more low energy states of the cell. We need to use less resources. We need to conserve. Now, am I saying that those programs might not get you to lose weight? No. A lot of women do those programs and go, but I lost weight. Oh, but I got really tired. I was cranky. I was angry. My hormones got out of balance and I wasn't sleeping. Because the fact is that your body, yes, it released the weight. It didn't get any healthier. And you actually put yourself closer to the risk for cancer and even diabetes. Because yes, ladies, diabetes happens all the time in people who've lost the weight. Because the fact is that diabetes is a stress response illness. And so the fact is that they do this high intensity stuff and they watch all these other aspects of their body fail. But the trainers are like, man, you look strong. You're looking great out there. And they keep going. And this is what happens over and over. Because the reality is that if you want the best life, you need the best life. Meaning not just a size 6 gene. You need to have sleep and a sex drive and a clear mind and energy and vitality and creativity, and your muscles need to not hurt and your joints need to not hurt, and you can't have inflammation if you want to live your best life. And pushing harder to do more intense things to try to get that energy to change is turning to the stress response and making that the form of energy. You might as well just increase your caffeine, get some monster drinks, and take some prescription phentermine if that's your goal. But if your real goal is to actually change the situation because you want to actually be alive, like you want real vitality, you want to love your life, then pushing harder is not going to get you there. The same thing with what everyone says to me. I know I need to cut out sugar. So I'm going to give you a little bit of very unconventional truth because that's who I am. Your cells run off of glucose and fructose. It is literally the source of you making energy in your cells. If you cut it all out of your diet, you force your cells to run on reserve power. Now, I know that this is not what the world is telling you because the world has decided to adopt a position that sweet things are bad. And yet the science is totally in opposition to a lot of what the world is promoting because a lot of people are advocating, cut, 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 cut. What you do then is you again ask your body to raise cortisol so that it can respond to the stress of not having enough adequate fuel. And that cortisol then impedes thyroid hormone, and it also lowers the cell energy and shoves you into a hyperestrogen state, which by default then you're going to go towards fibrosis and muscle inflammation and joint inflammation. It's going to disrupt calcium balance. You're setting yourself up for osteoporosis and other bony malformations. And on top of it, your liver's going to get congested. We're seeing this over and over and over. And some of the docs are starting to come out and say, yeah, you're right. This whole cut everything is not working because we're watching the health of our people decline rapidly. And if you talk to people who understand this mechanism, they will say, yes, every time I see my clients cut out all these things, what happens is their sleep goes down, their anxiety comes up, and all of these consequences. So the truth is am I saying go consume vast amounts of sugar? No. But in the concept of eating a metabolically supportive diet where you're actively using food to turn off the stress response and you're using deep mineral balancing foods while also avoiding using excessive amounts of meat, and you're avoiding polyunsaturated fats because they're toxic, you can start to have that balance. And in some people, then using some sugar, honey, maple syrup, in the context of deeply nourishing foods provides an immense amount of balance to their physiology. But you have to know what you're doing. So no, I'm not, and I will make this disclaimer here, I am not telling you to go start eating sugar. But I am saying that your physiology can't be argued with. And cutting and cutting and cutting. I hear this all the time, really stressed women saying, I don't know what's wrong. I cut out sugar. I cut out all the fruit. I cut out these things and I still feel like crap. And the answer is, yeah, of course you do. Your body's not stupid. It craves those foods because it knows the stress level's way too high. And it knows it's been that way forever, and it's looking for restitution. It's looking to build it back. It's looking to right the wrong, and it's having trouble doing it because no one ever taught you how to match your food to your physiology so you could actually heal. And this is the source of hormonal balance, you guys. We get balanced hormones when our cells make energy, and they're able to clear inflammation, and they're able to detox, and they're happy. We get unbalanced hormones when our cells are told that stress response is the mode of operation. These are concepts that are core and integral to actually recovering. So the first thing you need to do is you need to accept that the likelihood is your stress response has been high for 20 to 30 years. Even if you love your life, you love your job, you're happy where you live, the Western world raises our stress response all by itself above what humans were actually meant to handle. The next thing you need to do is to ask yourself, have I been trying to push to do more in order to remedy this low energy state in my body? And if you're being honest with yourself, 99% of you are going to go, yeah, that's been me. You can also ask yourself, have I been guilting myself for being tired and wanting to rest and saying I shouldn't need to do that? 99% of you that haven't been pushing through have been guilting yourself like crazy. Let me tell you what happens when you push through and guilt yourself. Your cells hear, oh, we messed up again. Let me ask you, what would it be like to walk into a room every single day and to have a person that you absolutely loved and respected shame and guilt you? It would feel horrible, right? How many of us are doing that every single day to our beautiful bodies? Because we're tired, because we're not sleeping, because we don't like how we feel, because pain makes us want to leave our bodies anyway. How many of us are doing that? It's huge, you guys. This is a big part of healing, and that's why we keep pushing through, because we're so ashamed that we're stuck where we're at that we're like, maybe I just need to work harder. And then we guilt ourselves for needing to rest and needing a break and being in pain and not having a solution. And let me tell you that it's not you. We haven't taught people how to heal in this society for a very long time. And we've set up all these fad parameters of what healing is, and it changes, decade to decade, who's focusing on what. And we've never decided to address the nature of the chronic stress response. And this has been true as long as I've been in medicine. We have glossed over it. We're ignoring it. We're putting a little pink veneer over it and going, oh, that's not the problem. It's just thyroid, it's just inflammation, it's just this. And the root behind all of those is this chronic stress response that we keep exaggerating by guilting and shaming and pushing through and trying to do more to solve this problem. You guys, it is solvable, but you need to start checking in with yourself. And if you find that you've been guilting and shaming and pushing through and ignoring your body impulses because you're trying to just get it to behave and you're ready for that to stop, then I can help you. But here's what I know. If you're not ready to give up that relationship, then it's going to be really hard to heal. But I promise you that the journey is worth it, because when you restore cell energy, you have real energy for ages. Your sleep is magnificent. You don't need sleep aids. You don't need melatonin. You don't need to pile on big doses of magnesium to get to sleep. You can actually heal those things. You don't need medications for blood pressure. You don't need to have medications for blood glucose. You don't need pain meds, because the fact is, you guys, all of those imbalances are because the stress response has run crazy over your entire physiology. Your organs and cells are tired and they've been waiting for relief, and you're the only one who can give it to them. You all are here for a beautiful reason. Hey, Val. And you are dynamically powerful women. But the world won't know that if you're too tired to participate. And pushing yourself and guilting yourself and being angry with yourself for not being at some imaginary state of quote-unquote perfection, when the reality is that your beautiful body's been asking for healing for so long, is not going to get you there. But you're worth it. So ask yourself those questions. Am I pushing through when I'm exhausted? Am I guilting myself for needing the rest? Am I shaming myself? Do I keep telling my body that it keeps messing up? And are you ready to change it? And if you are, cool, reach out. Set up a call with us. This is what we teach the women in our program every single day. But also just get real with yourself. Women tell me all the time, I'm really in touch with my body. Oh, but I'm exhausted, I'm not sleeping, I don't want to have sex, and I'm pissed off. That's not really being in touch with your body. That's having spent a lot of time cutting off that connection because it doesn't feel so good. It's time for us to restore the connection to our bodies, because it is the vehicle by which we serve. It is the place by which we experience the world. And so if our bodies are sick, you guys, our experience of life is sick. And that is the worst place to live from. And it doesn't have to be. We don't have to be stuck here anymore. All right, everyone. I hope you have a beautiful day. Hey Pamela, I love seeing you guys here. You are beautiful. You are worth healing, and I absolutely believe in you. So be kind to you. All right? Take care.